Hello.
Hey Greg,
How you doing?
doing good? When it's a Friday, it's always good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good too. Glad it's the end of
It's,
the week.
it's like just get us out of here. Thanks again, because Danielle got back to me and we talked for a
Right.
bit, and we are really excited about doing some things. It turns out we all know the same people in the industry, which means that that's a great opportunity to, I can interview some influencer marketing experts and companies and practitioners, and she's looking exactly for that. So that's good stuff.
Cool.
Just want to understand again so I can prioritize because, of course, I could do lots of things, but the question is to do the best stuff. Um, so I'm good at interviewing. I'm good at data. I'm good at feature stories. I'm not particularly good at news, but that's what you're all there for. And I passed that press release over from Oliver, who's a
Yeah, thanks
colleague
very
of
much.
mine. I know him from so many speaking engagements, and that was good. So we talked about a couple of things, just going through sort of like UA Ninja, how did you do it, what did you do types of things. Um, I'm watching a company that has a really cool approach to identifying whales in your games. He'll soon be going live with that. A guy in the States by the name of Doron Kagan. Have you ever heard of him? I don't know
No,
what his company is called.
uh,
Uh,
doesn't ring a bell.
what is it called? He's not. Well, I'll find out. But um, it's a way of finding whales in your games. Really cool thing. He's got an entire um, setup there. Looks interesting. So, what was it? What would be most welcome at your end, Craig? What can I do? What would you like me to focus on?
Um, I think just some interviews
Yeah.
or general features would be good because, like I
Okay.
said, I don't really need the news side. The data stuff we do kind of cover.
Okay.
Um, it's not something
So
definitely
the various
behind.
newsy
So
reports, you've got them all covered if
yeah,
you
we cover those all the
got that
time
all.
really.
Okay.
So. Like something like the UA Ninja that we discussed before.
Yeah, so I should really,
It's a pretty
I
cool
can
idea.
really move ahead on something like that.
Yeah,
Um, colleague of mine, I mean, when you're in the industry, everyone, you just sort of get to know each other. So I know Sakala really, really well, who's now moved to Ubisoft, and she runs, of course, her UA Society, which is just this amazing group of everyone in there is some sort of UA ninja. And then I'm in this Slack channel with Eric Seufert and his people, who are all talking about UA and this, that, and the other. So maybe I just go through the various ninjas and, what do you do? How do you do it? What's your biggest tip or trick or something like that? I could
yeah.
show you what I did. It wasn't about games, but it's going over really, really well over at Forbes. And I'll just share this with you for a quick second because if you like something like this, I can do this sort of constantly because this is sort of my, this went over really well over there. And for me, it's really simple because this is what I'm doing. This is my sort of my 24/7 thing. Okay. So let me just copy this link for you. These, of course, were not games companies, but you could easily imagine it being something around games companies, right? Let me just put this here. Where do they keep their? Ah, there's who I am. So this is what I did there. Um, and as I said, it's going over really well. And I got a lot of really good feedback on it. So it makes me think that this is something that the industry really likes. Um, and I
Sorry, I'm
could,
just taking a look at.
no problem. And I was thinking, if Forbes liked it, I can angle this to games companies, and just basically, how do you do what you're doing? You're making money, you're succeeding, you somehow are, this is a business. What are you doing to make it a business? So maybe you just let me know what you think of this one.
Okay. It looks like a good idea. I think I'll have to read it. But
I mean, it's basically, I spoke with these people,
yeah,
and each of them gave me sort of like their top tip.
yeah.
So I've
That's a
got,
really good idea.
you know, and we could even do it like this. And I do them in like groups. Okay, for this I had 10. because I had done 10 podcasts and I wanted to get extra mileage out of them, to be quite honest.
Sure.
But the real thing is the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's a great book. You can get a lot of SEO from that. And maybe I just do them in sort of, groups of 7 about specific areas of what they need
Yes.
to do. Like one might be, how do I do ASO for my game, right? And the other might be, how do I do engagement for my game? And the other might be, how do I do user acquisition for my game? And the other might be, how do I do onboarding for my game? And we just do them in groups, um, and maybe segment them that way so that they're not just always just catch-alls, or
Yeah,
or
I know. I really like this idea.
yeah.
I definitely want to do something like
Well, why don't we do something like that just to start, and then I'll always have my eyes open for other things. Um, you know, I'm just sort of getting my head around some things. Maybe there's going to be a spin-off from some influencer marketing campaign. Um, you know, what I'll do is I'll just tell you what I'm about to work on so that if we feel that we're going to overlap at any point, you can just give me a heads up and say, oh, don't, like, for example, don't interview David Moore. We just did him because he was one I was going to do. And then he said, I spoke with him. He said, oh, Pocket Gamer's going to interview me next week. I'm like, okay. I have to be careful not to fall over you in finding
yeah, I
these
think
people.
if we could just some communication about
Yeah.
like who you're approaching, what you're doing, that would be great. Because yeah, otherwise that can happen.
Yeah, but just by accident, you know. Um, I know I did miss. I did want to write about David. He had his world tour. It ended on the 25th of of November. I missed that completely. Did you write about it?
Not his. I don't think so.
Because he had his esports gaming championships culminated
Oh,
in Los Angeles or something.
well, maybe we did. Actually, the Summoners War Championship thing.
Okay,
Is
so you
that
did that. All
yeah.
right. I was going to do something with him, and he's like, no, 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 they're doing it over there. It's like, okay, okay, we're covered, we're covered. But he is really good at what he does. I love speaking with him. In fact, he's going to be one of my choices for Danielle because he also is really critical of influencer campaigns. He has had a very painful experience trying to find influencers in Germany and France, and he will tell anyone who stands still what a pain that was. So he's a good story for that as well. Then let's do this, Craig. Let's not belabor the point. Let's just get started again. I'll kick off with this. We'll stick to groups of 7, and I will, segment them maybe according to activities. Habits of highly effective ninjas for soft launch or re-engagement or whatever I think it's about, so we can group them so it's not just like, oh, these are some great habits, and and then you get the eternal one. Yeah, pay attention to your user and think of your user journey. I mean, if I see that or hear that one more time, I'm gonna scream because that doesn't really tell us anything. I mean, it's clear, it's something, but so this is what I'll start with. Is there anything, if you had a Christmas wish list, anything that you would want from me that you don't have?
Um,
Because I'm
trying to
planning
think.
on my stories, I'm mapping my stuff out in Trello. I'm gonna be really serious about this.
So, did I ever send you the forward features lists that we have?
Yes, you did. Are we still? Let me check that because I
Uh,
think it ends in
it's still
January,
the
doesn't
same
it?
topic. So, at the moment, we're doing live operations,
Okay.
or supposed to be, and then next year we're doing. Sorry, in January we're doing jobs.
Okay. Jobs.
February is start
Start
your own
your own
studio.
studio.
Yeah.
GDC, that's you guys. I mean, I am a user acquisition person. Absolutely. I mean, I'm into UA, but it says you're going to, I mean, if you want, you can tell me who are the experts you want to be talking to and if I should be doing any of them just to offload some of the work because that's definitely what I'm into.
Yeah.
Um, Localization. Yeah, yeah. I could do localization, but that's April. That's so far away.
Yes.
But localization I'm good at because I've got my favorite stories are the things that work in our games and what people think of them in China. And I had a colleague who had a character with a green hat. Yeah. Was
Yeah.
it a green hat? I think it was a green hat. And apparently in some villages in China, that is the sign of an adulterer.
Oh wow,
So it was
that's quite
like no one's gonna.
specific.
Yeah, I was like, this game isn't gonna make it. It's like you don't believe it. It's got the green hat. Okay, so we'll change it to orange. Change it to orange. Life is good, right? But the green hat turns out to be in some villages, it's a bad sign, and so no one wanted to be the person in the green hat. So I've got great stories like that. So I do have some fun with that stuff. I could do that. That's April.
Yeah, that's quite
Um,
funny.
Start your own studio. Um, hmm. I'm not too good on that. I don't know anyone who's really started their own. I could check around if you want me to find sort of people who do it from the very beginning. I don't
I mean,
know.
we'll still be running some articles on this,
Okay.
but yeah, more is always good. These topics, but I'll have a think about who you could contact
Yeah, think about
potentially.
some because if I'm doing this and I'm doing it anyway, because I have my weekly podcast. I just keep track of UA experts, period. um, and all the rest of it in the UA Society. I watch them. I'm on this Slack channel, which I can easily get on and say, hey guys, let's line up who are the UA ninjas out there at the various games companies, and they'll just sort of like file in, and then all I need to do is interview them. And for me, interviewing is simple for whatever reason. Something has to be easy. um,
Cool.
Okay, then this is it. We'll do highly effective, habits of highly effective people in the industry at various stages. And I've also got Danielle set. I'm going to be interviewing some of her influencer maven types to help out there. Some of
Great.
them are my friends anyway. Pascal from Eden Games, who I know really well.
Yeah.
Um, he's been wanting to be interviewed for a while for my podcast. Now I can do two in one. I could do an sort of a different one for my podcast and a more in-depth one for Danielle, and everybody's happy. So,
Great.
including Pascal, because he wants to be interviewed. He wants to have a voice. All right. Well,
So
I'll get down to
just
these.
just to be clear, is there like a timeline you have in mind for these,
I'm
like
putting them into
deadlines?
Trello, and I'm just going to kick off beginning in the new year. And I was thinking basically once a month to have something over your way.
That would be great.
That's what I'm
Okay.
thinking because, get them in groups. They don't have to be books. I mean, this article was a bit long, to tell you the truth. I mean, it was 10 people and they wouldn't shut up, and I ended up having like 3,000 words. I'm positive you don't want 3,000 words from me. Uh, it took me a couple days, but you were
Yeah.
looking more for, really in and around the 750, 800, where our attention span is. You don't want to
Yeah.
belabor the point. Even this was just, way over the top, but whatever. I mean, you've got people here, the head of UA at Twitter. You don't want to argue with him. You say, okay, just talk.
Yeah,
uh,
that's true.
um, okay, good. Well, one a month starting in the new year. I'll map some out. I'll start
Excellent.
reaching out. I've got some people left over from the UA Society, which is the easiest one because I had them all lined up earlier, and then of course they all went in all different directions, a lot of different shows, culminating in Slush. You did too. You were all over the place,
Yeah,
weren't you?
just everywhere.
I have to start following you in something like Facebook. I'm sure you're just having all these experiences while I'm sitting at my desk for the moment. But I may see you in January. I may do
Oh,
that.
that'd
I
be cool.
may just make it to London because it's a great show, and I might also meet some different people that I need to be interviewing going forward for you. So, all right,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be great.
okay. I'm sure you let me in, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
be your guest. Cool. When does that kick off, by the way? January what?
Sorry, it's January 22nd, 23rd.
Okay, that's all right. That's as long as not the early part of January, because you just want to like ease back in.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
So let me ask you a question, because I want to be organized. That is my main goal. That and maybe getting on my bike rather than being at my desk.
Mhm.
Is there something that you use to keep sort of organized that you would swear by? I mean, I've got, Trello and different things. I switched to Outlook. Now I just read today about Sorted, and now I'm regretting my switch to Outlook.
I am, to be honest, I'm probably looking for something better for myself now because I was using Trello, but I don't like it.
Do you
Like
use
the
do you,
card system, I can't really get. But so I use like a Google spreadsheet.
yeah.
Just
I
like
was
I just like its simplicity.
So I just found ZenKit, And I thought that has a possibility because you can change the view according to what you need. So if you need it as a list, you'll see it as a list. If you need it as Kanban or whatever they're calling it, Kanban, you'll see it as that. It looks really promising because I'm determined to get on top of this because my life is just, if I don't remember to follow up on emails, life just goes to hell, basically, right?
Yeah.
Setting alerts isn't going to help me because I'm in the middle of something. I put the alert on snooze, it never comes back. Um, ZenKit is possible if you want to look into that.
Does look pretty cool. I'm just looking at it now. It's basically,
Zenkit.
it looks a bit like Trello,
But you can change it.
and yeah,
And that
the
was
list
that was looking
formats
promising.
looks pretty good.
How do you remind yourself about following up on emails? You
Good
don't.
question. Yeah, I don't. I just do eventually.
So do you have Gmail or
Gmail.
Gmail? See, I went to Outlook thinking it was going to be easier, and it's not.
No, to be honest, once you hit a certain number of emails every day, it's just like,
So you're
there's only so much you can do to
So it's the same with
organize
you.
it.
Because I'm determined to do, I know it'll never happen, but I'm determined to give it a real try. Because, for example, if I'm doing your 7 habits, right, I've got 7 people to manage. They may be all, lovely people, but,
Yeah.
when are we going to talk? Or when are you going to answer this question? Where's your email? What's going on? 7 people, put them in Trello. You'll forget to update Trello. What are you going to do about them? And that's what I was thinking. And I thought, well, I can either have a huge whiteboard that's like 3 meters high, 3 meters wide, and I can run them across with post-its or something. I don't know.
I've actually done that. I've got a pin board. So
See,
I
I was thinking
pin
of that. I
physical
was
post-it notes.
I was
It doesn't.
thinking of
I
that
don't
as
know.
well.
It's a bit hit or miss, but it is better actually having something physical rather than just putting it into the ether on the internet.
I was also going to get a second screen. I was thinking maybe if I had one screen that's just the Trello boards,
I
you
thought
know.
that as well, but
Did you do that?
no, I think it seemed a bit too far.
So I thought I would be sitting here with 2 screens. I feel like I work at the stock exchange, and it's just emails, for goodness sake. This isn't like I'm running the world in some Bond movie. Okay, just wondered how you do it. If I crack it, Craig, I'll let you know.
Yeah, no,
I'm
please.
determined to crack it. I've done some research, and that's why ZenKit looked pretty interesting, and it's free as far as I can tell, which is like awesome, you know? Why
Yeah,
wouldn't you want that, right? So that might be the one because then I have a to-do list, but then I can run it in different views. That might be a possibility. In any case, I'll be organized enough for you, Craig, to get the work out to you, okay?
all right. Thank you very much.
Well, have a good weekend. We're almost there.
Yeah, we're nearly there.
Yeah, and we'll kick it off in January. Get the
Have a good
party
one.
started, okay?
Great.
All right.
Good to speak to you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.